शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो मिश्रपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नितिनामिने श्रीवार्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरा करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगाविरुद्धाप सिद्धान्तद्वान्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये हे प्रलम्बा साम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगावरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जनप्रियः वैष्णवः सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषै नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। जयतां सुरतोर्पंगुर मामन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वापदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्य नारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा शैलगोविन्ददेवो प्रष्ट्रालभिसेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भि वंशीवटतटस्थितः हर्षं वेणु कुपिनाथः श्रियस्तुनः तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। So please open the page of refuting Sankhya refuted. A quick quiz: which sutras from Vedanta Sutras refute Sankhya? 2, 2, 1 to 10, 2, 1, 1 to 3. Okay. Okay. That I said, that is later. First we'll do Sankhya and then we'll do. This is the. I sent you. I just sent you. Got it, no? So Adhikarana Vedanta Sutras 2.1.1, 2.1.2. Two sutras refute Sankhya. Of course, we are going to do these things what Baladev Vidyabhushan told also in another file, but just for the sake of first we'll do the refutation of Sankhya and then go to the exact commentary of Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu. So now the atheistic Sankhya philosophers say it is wrong for the Vedantists and just Vedantists to contradict their scriptures. but in fact their scriptures are wrong because they contradict the Vedic creation. Now, the argument is like that. Who spoke Sankhya philosophy? Kapila. So now they say that our Kapila is what is described as Supreme God in the scriptures. Yes. I don't know how many times Srila Prabhupada has told that atheistic Kapila is different from theistic or devotee Kapila. These two are different. Why he is breaking his head? Because the Sankhya philosophers, they say that Kapila, who is our Kapila, who has propounded this Sankhya, is that Kapila, which is described as God. Yes. So now whatever God says should be accepted. If you don't accept, that means you are not accepting the Smriti. So the atheistic Sankhya philosophers, it is wrong for the Vedantists to contradict their scripture because it is a scripture spoken by God. But in fact their scripture was wrong because they contradict the Vedic explanation. For that you have the Bhagavatam verses are listed here, but we will just take one verse for the sake of convenience. Let us take the first verse itself. Adyotara purusha parasya kala svabhava sadasan manascha dravyam vikaro guna indriyani virat swaratha neshu charshnishu bhumnaha. So Karanodaksh Vishnu is the first incarnation. Second Supreme Lord, and he is a master of eternal time, space, cause, effect, time, the elements, and material ego. The mode of nature, the senses, the universal form of the Lord. And then comes Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and the sum total of all living beings who are moving and non-moving. So why Vishnustu Trini Rupani have been discussed many times. The whole purpose of discussing Vishnustu Trini Rupani is to refute the Sankhya philosophers, because matter in itself is unconscious. And how can matter in itself manifest this world? You require a conscious person to manifest this world. Not only that. If you say Purusha, the living entity, is manifesting this world by association with Prakriti, then there is a problem here. What is the problem? The living entity itself, though, is conscious, but is not active, and he is not all-pervading. If he is all-pervading and all-conscious, then he is God. That's the main reason that Prakriti and Purusha by themselves cannot be what? The cause of this creation. Then where is the second one? It's here. Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, where did it go? Sutra translation has not gone, is not mentioned. So anyhow, we are going to do it later, so don't take it, because we are going to do these two sutras as explained by Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu. In the next slide comes, comes. Now, yoga refutation of yoga, for that not much has been discussed. Reason is, the basis of Patanjali Yoga Sutras is Sankhya. Patanjali, why came into picture? Because Sankhya doesn't give any practical, Kapila doesn't give any practicality. It's only philosophy. But Patanjali says, I'll give you something practical. So the theory is Sankhya and the practical is yoga, Patanjali's yoga. So if Sankhya is refuted, then yoga is. The Patanjali scriptures share the same defect as the scripture of atheistic Sankhya. So, same. We don't have to do much refutation of yoga.
Can you explain why Purusha, who is the soul, cannot be caused just because they are not operating?
Just because of? Mike.
You said that living entity cannot be caused because they are not operating. So
for living entity to be the cause, how many living entities are there? So if they become the cause, how many universes will be there? Just imagine. And what kind of one living entity wants the universe to be like this, other wants to be something like, other wants to be something like this, and already we are fed up with the variety. And just imagine there is many living entities who are working on creating. There is a famous saying in English. What is that? So many cooks.
Too many cooks spoil the dish.
Too many cooks for spoil the dish, whatever cook you want, whatever things you want. So if you have 10 Matajis cooking one khichdi, isn't it? So it will be, I don't know what it will be. Something strange, isn't it? You have one Bengali, one South Indian, one Gujarati. They want to make khichdi. They have made a committee to make khichdi. So it will be really a khichdi actually. That's why you cannot have Bahū-Ishvaravad. Bahū-Ishvaravad means many controllers, many creators. You can only have one creator. Many creators is not accepted. The biggest acquisition on the Hinduism by the Western philosophies, especially the Christians and Islamists, and others also, is that we Hindus worship many gods, Bahū-Ishvaravad. But they don't know, Ekam Sat Viprabodha Vadanti. Actually, Vedic literatures accept only one God. Unfortunately, the Hindus, those who are living in this land, they thought we have many gods. But Christians have only one God. When you don't know your own scriptures properly, that becomes your weakness. And that's the reason you have a lot of conversions happening. I told the VHP people, the reason for the conversion is this, your own ignorance. So unless you teach Bhagavad Gita to them and explain that you have only one God, not many gods, then whole point of the Christians and the Muslims trying to convert the Hindus in this land, they say we have one God and you have multiple gods. But they don't know that we also have only one God. And if you say that the Christians also have multiple gods, then who are the angels? When Jesus was born, who all came to meet him? God of wind came, God of rain came. Isn't there's all many fairies? What fairy? Or angels. Angels came. Who are they? They are demigods. So if you don't preach Krishna is supreme God and all are demigods, I'm telling you, everyone will become a Christian Muslim in this land. Do say that we have many gods, we accept many gods, that it's your weakness, because you're against your own, you don't have the knowledge of your own scriptures. Interestingly, if you have a Christian school, they teach Bible clearly. If you have a Muslim school, they teach Quran. If you're a Hindu school, nothing. So you become Buddhist. You are godless, faithless. So suffer. Because every conditioned soul, they need a religion, they need philosophy. It is a need of the soul. If you don't give the real one, they'll accept a wrong one. As simple as that. You cannot have any human without being religious. You say, I am not religious. Somebody may say that, but it requires. It is a requirement. Otherwise, you will go to clubs and night clubs and drink alcohol, and that becomes your religion. So we'll go to the second two. Where is that? 221. 221. Yes. 221. The pradhana, being unconscious, therefore unintelligent, cannot be the creator of the universe. This is the first bomb. Now, when you want to create something, for example, you want to go to kitchen and then make something, cook something, then you should have consciousness. Because to do something, you should know the purpose for which you are doing that thing. You want to build a building, so you should know what is the purpose. You are building a school, a hospital, or a house, government office, IT, industry. So you should be conscious. So how can the pradhana, which the Sankhyas say that is the cause of this world, be the cause of this world? Because it is unconscious. Pradhana is unconscious. Sankhyas say that. Pradhana is unconscious. And therefore unintelligent. There is no consciousness. That is why in the very first verse of Bhagavatam, Krishna has been described as what? Abhigna. Abhigna means one who is conscious. Abhigna Swarat. So cannot be the creator of the universe. So for that you have the Bhagavatam verses here. Yatha gandhasya bhumascha na bhavo vyatirekataha apam rasascha yatha tata buddhehe parasya. There is no separate existence of earth and its aroma, or water and its taste. There cannot be separate existence of intelligence and consciousness. That means intelligence and consciousness are connected with each other. So you cannot have any creation done by a person who is unconscious. You require a conscious person behind this. This is the first bomb. See the second bomb. Pradhana is inert. Only when consciousness agitates pradhana do the three modes stir to initiate the material manifestation. Now, somebody may say, no. Pradhana doesn't require any conscious person to do the creation. Because there is, in pradhana, there is what? Rajas. Sattva, Rajas, Tama. So Rajas does it. Passion does it. So you don't require any consciousness. Now, according to your philosophy, pradhana, in the stage of pradhana, and it is known in material nature, all the three are sleeping. And that is why there's so much of talk of Saikshata. The Lord, He saw. From His eyesight, two things came. What are they? Jiva Shakti and Kala Shakti, which agitated the pradhana to become Mahat Tattva. So you may say, it's like a story, hey, what is the use of knowing this? Why it is repeated in Bhagavatam so many times? The distinction between pradhana and Mahat Tattva. The distinction between pradhana and Mahat Tattva has to be explained, because the Sankhyas, they would argue. What is the argument? You don't require consciousness, you require rajas. Passion is enough. But the passion is sleeping at that time. Who made these three modes? So there is an external influence. What is that? Consciousness and time energy. As we discussed in the morning, time is not considered to be one of the 24 elements. in our philosophy, but they consider time within the 24 elements. Time is actually beyond the 24 elements, and they don't consider it as an element at all.
So they say that creation can happen just out of rajas, non-need consciousness. It is similar to the Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Idea.
Yes, Big Bang idea.
Started movement.
Yeah, the atoms are there now, the entire Big Bang happens. So for that, you have the sloka from Bhagavatam which talks about the glance of the Lord. Utpatti sthiti laya hetavosya kalpaha satvadya prakritir gunayad ikshasam yadrupam drum akritam yadekam atma nandhat katam nuhya vedatasya vartma. So the glance came into picture here, see in the translation. By his glance, the Supreme Personality of Godhead enables the modes of nature to act as a cause of the universal creation, maintenance and destruction. Why are you going down? In the verse is 5:25:9. Go up. Yeah. 5:25:9. Utpatti sthiti laya hetavosya kalpaha satvadyaha prakriti guna yad ikshasam. Ikshasam means by your glance. So by the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, material nature acts as a cause of the universal creation, maintenance and destruction. The Supreme Soul is unlimited and beginningless, and although He is one, He has manifested Himself into many forms. How can human society understand the ways of the Supreme Lord? That's the question. So all these verses talk about how you require what? Yes, consciousness and of course time energy to agitate pradhana so that Mahatattva manifests. Now go to 2.2.3 Vedanta Sutra, go down. We'll just take one verse of Bhagavatam. The whole point of the course is to make you see, when you see the Bhagavatam, there are many ways of looking at Bhagavatam. One of the ways of looking at Bhagavatam is how it refutes the six systems of philosophy. And it is actually natural commentary on Vedanta Sutras. Now, 2.2.3. That is a Vedanta Sutra. Shall read it. Though it appears that material elements spontaneously interact to produce new effects, when water produces sap, milk produces curd, these creations are guided by higher agency. Now the Sankhyas argue, what is their argument? Now milk is transformed into curd. What higher agency is there? Automatically transformation is happening. Everything is automatic. Prabhupada said only a fool can say everything is automatic. Milk transforms into curd. And if you have water transforms into sap. You put water in the root of the tree, then that becomes, tree produces sap. So we find new effects are spontaneously made because of automatically happens. And these creations are not, there is no requirement for higher energy. No, it requires. These creations are guided by higher agency. Similarly, the cosmic manifest is not produced by pradhana spontaneously, pradhana spontaneous interaction. It is directed by higher agency. Like milk transforms into curd. But no, there is a bacteria. It doesn't transform automatically. Somebody has put curd in it. That is why the milk became curd. Isn't it? No, somebody will argue, no, I saw, I just left the milk around. Tomorrow morning and I came and saw, 2 days later I came and it became curd. It became paneer. Huh? Why it did not happen immediately? Why it took so much of time? So time has influenced. Hmm.
Still, it turned into that thickness because bacteria.
Behind the bacteria, something else is there. There is higher guiding principle. Or somebody wanted it to happen. Somebody wanted it to happen. So you cannot say things are all automatically happening. The sun rises in the east, automatically happens. No. Nothing in this world happens automatic. Even it is seen to be automatic, there is a person who created the automatic situation. Automation makes you feel that everything is automatic. But who made that automation? There is somebody who, there is a higher energy acting behind it.
They don't even believe in.
You put grass, cow gives milk. Grass transforms into, but you give grass to bull. So these are the arguments which are say nothing happens automatic.
Maybe bull inside bull also there is a milk. There is nowhere to come out.
Yeah, you can argue and go on arguing. There's no limit to our arguments. But the whole system is there is a higher guiding principle behind every automation.
Because they don't believe even in demigods also. Like those who are controlling our all senses.
As I told, these demigods are Siddha Purushas for them. He was a perfected Sankhya. Actually, those who practice yoga based on the Sankhya system of philosophy, they get so much of powers also. Yeah. Mystic powers, because for them everything is Sattva, Rajas, Tama. If you give a chapati to a Siddha who has perfected Sankhya, he looks at the chapati. For him it is not chapati, it is Sattva, Rajas, Tama. And he throws the chapati. The Sattva, Rajas, Tama of the chapati gets merged with the Sattva, Rajas, Tama of the Prakriti, and that enters into his body, which is made of Sattva, Rajas, Tama. So by throwing the chapati up in the sky, in the ether, he can get that potency.
Can get energy transfer.
Yes. He sees Sattva, Rajas, Tama everywhere.
This is by his meditation.
Yes, by his meditation. So much of powers. That is why yoga means siddhi. You are sitting here, by yogic powers you can go somewhere else. Why? Because for them, space is Sattva, Rajas, Tama, and your body is Sattva, Rajas, Tama. You can interpolate. So they use all the Vedic mantras for these things. They are very high grade tapasvis. Yeah.
And they got entangled in that thing.
Yeah. There are some people, I've seen one yogi, who whatever you give, he burns it, makes it into charcoal and then eats. You give anything. Because it's Sattva, Rajas, Tama for him. For them, if I give you a sweet, what do you say? It's a sweet. If you give a Sankhya a sweet, it is not sweet for him. It is for a person who is sick, that is bitter. For a person who is healthy, it is sweet. And for a person who is having no tongue, means some people are tasteless, taste buds are not there, it is tasteless. So it is happiness, distress, and neutrality. Sattva, Rajas, Tama, nothing. Everything is Sattva, Rajas, Tama for them. Like Krishna also speaks this philosophy of Sattva, Rajas, Tama. But of course, that is not, at the same time he says this is VIHE Gunamayi. Remember, there is a verse which says, Sattva Vitta Mahabhav, Gunakarma Vibhagayoho, Guna Gunesh Vartanti iti Mattvana Sajjate. For a Sankhite, a tiger coming and jumping on him is like passion. Passion. It's rajas. So he sees the whole world as sattva, raja, tama. But he doesn't see the person behind the sattva, raja, tama, that is Krishna, who is making these three things dance. Maya adhyakshana prakriti, that is what is forgotten. They see prakriti, but behind prakriti there is Purusha, Parama Purusha. Patir Gunesha, Pradhana Kshetrajna Patir Gunesha. You remember this phrase or this verse being quoted to Prabhupada many times? Pradhana Kshetrajna Patir Gunesha. There is a Kshetrajna who is Pradhana Kshetrajna. And who is he? Patihi. Pati means the Lord of the modes of nature. Guna Esha. He is the controller of the modes. So that's the Sankhya means those who don't see Krishna behind the modes. They only see the modes of nature. So let's see. Deva Uchuhu. What the Devas are saying. 6th canto, 9th chapter, 21st verse. 6, 9, 21. Vayam varagni apakshatyascha triloka brahma dayo me vayamudvijantaha haramayasmai balimanta koso viveti yasmadanam tatona. Oh, we had the diacritics also. That file did not have all these things. Old file. So the demigod said, the three worlds are created by 5 elements, namely ether, air, fire, earth, water, earth, which are controlled by various demigods beginning from Lord Brahma. Being very much afraid that the time factor will end our existence, we offer presentations onto time by performing our work at time as time dictates. The time factor himself, however, is afraid of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, let us now worship the Supreme Lord, who alone can give us full protection. So now, there are 2 things which are recognized here by the demigods. One is time, and also the person who controls the time, the Supreme Lord. And these Sankhya philosophers, they don't see that behind this creation there is time, and which is the energy of the Supreme Lord. And all the worlds, the elements are controlled ultimately by time energy. So your transformation is guided by time. Like as I told, milk transforms into curd. Okay, even if you say there is no higher energy, milk transforms into curd. By putting curd into the milk, milk becomes curd. But why it takes 6 hours? Why don't you do it in 1 hour only, half an hour only? That means time is controlling. Time is controlling. So the Sankhites don't recognize time. Those who don't recognize time is a Sankhite. They don't see time is controlling material nature. They think material nature controls time. That is why they try their best to control time. That's why they take shelter of yoga. Yoga means what? To do something which others cannot do. Siddhi.
It's like manipulation of matter.
Manipulation of matter.
Even to the subtle.
Yes. Trying to manipulate matter by tapasya is yoga. Trying to manipulate matter by karma is called karma. Karma Mimamsa. So trying to manipulate matter. So you want to take the position of the controller. You want to take the position of control to establish that there is no controller other than Prakriti itself. Oh. Next. 2 to 4? Yes, 2 to 4. The atheistic Sankhya philosophers may argue that Pradhana is the sole cause of the universe, but in fact, their theory states that Pradhana creates only when Purusha is there. Now they are caught with their own. They say that Pradhana is the whole and sole cause of the universe. But they also state that until unless Purusha comes near Pradhana, the Pradhana cannot create on its own. So you have gone against your own theory. That means Pradhana is dependent on Purusha. Here Purusha means the soul. So you have made your God dependent. What is the use of that philosophy? Thus even Sankhya's standpoint holds that matter does not act alone. Because you have blind man and lame man. Who is the blind man?
Pradhana.
Is Pradhana. So the blind man cannot do anything unless the lame man comes. So how can you say Pradhana is independent? Because according you are defeated yourself by your own philosophy. Like in Krishna, he doesn't have to depend on anybody to create Brahma. Lotus flower came, automatically Brahma came. Lakshmi is also surprised. How did you produce a child without me? He can do. He can do. Now there is an argument saying that when you say Krishna created this world by his potency, that means he is dependent on the potency. No, he is not dependent on the potency. The potency acts according to Krishna's wish, Krishna's desire.
But also we can say because that potency is also his, it's not
It is his
somebody else.
potency. It is Mama Maya Durattaya. Mama Maya. It is his potency. Yeah.
Earlier you said for that blind and lame example about Purusha and Prakriti.
Huh.
So that now you stated that Purusha and the lame man is the Prakriti, where the role of Prakriti have gone.
Yes, yes. It for the, according to their. Yes. So Sankhya contradicts themselves. This is their Vedanta Sutras. Now for that one verse from Bhagavatam, because the whole seminar is meant to drill this point. What is that? 6 systems of philosophy are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Asti nasti cha vastu nistayor eka satyor bhinna viruddha dharmano avekshitam kinchana yoga sankshapayo samam param hi anukulam brihattat. There are 2 parties, namely the theistic and atheist. The theist who accepts the super soul finds the spiritual cause through mystic yoga. The Sankhyites, however, who merely analyze the material elements, come to conclusion of impersonalism and does not accept the supreme cause, where Bhagavan, Paramatma, or even Brahman. Instead, he is preoccupied with the superfluous external activities of material nature. Ultimately, however, both parties demonstrate the absolute truth because although they offer opposing statements, their object is the same ultimate cause. They are both approaching the same Supreme Brahman to whom I offer my obeisances to. So, in essence, the meaning is, some people say Asti, some people say Nasti. Some people say God is there, some people say God is not there. That means those who are Mayavadis and those who are Sankhites, they try to explain, hey, Brahman is there. Some Sankhites say, no, Brahman is not there. But ultimately, both of them have to come to you. Because ultimately, Krishna is the source of everything. So, samam param hi anukulam Brihat Tata. Brihat Tat. You are Brihat. You are Brahman. Same approaching, same Brahman. Fifth Sutra. 225. Vedanta Sutra. 225. Atheistic Sankhya philosophers put forward examples of various creative interactions of material elements to support their theory that pradhana is a cause. But these examples only speak against their idea. So let us see what are the examples. We don't have to read the Bhagavatam verse for this. We'll go to the next. They give many examples. So see, go to 226. The atheistic Sankhya philosophers claim pradhana offers halsa to the individual soul to enjoy. Thus enticed, the soul falls under her power. The soul falls under her power. And after their material desires are completed, satisfied, the souls are liberated by pradhana only. But in fact, the Supreme Lord is the only controller of material nature, the living entities and their desires. So in the previous verse, previous sutra, examples are there. You remember I gave how many examples? 4 examples. 4 plus 1, 5. So the examples are already spoken. And those examples go against their own philosophy. What are the examples? First one? What is the fallacy in that? Both are conscious. And then magnet and both are unconscious. And then camel and camphor. Camel and camphor. How and beetle. Somebody has to chew, then only it will. Just keep the leaf that become dried and become black. You take the beetle leaf, put in the mouth, and you have to chew, and there should be saliva in it. It is not that you put that beetle leaf in a crusher and bring oil. It will not bring redness. It only bring redness in the mouth. Beetle leaf you saw, it is green. You put crush and take juice, it doesn't get red. It only comes in the mouth. You put in the mouth, then the redness comes. Supari. Only beetle leaf will not produce things. You have to put that chuna, then only it will come. So all the examples, they give their own examples, but the examples go against their own philosophy. And now here, the atheistic philosopher claim pradhana offers herself. Now, it's very interesting. Pradhana offers to the soul and entices the soul. Come, enjoy me. So once the soul comes and enjoys, pradhana, what does it do? Controls her. Controls. And then after the soul says, oh, leave me. Pradhana becomes very merciful and say, get lost. I'll leave you. What is this? The whole Leela is over. What is this Leela, the material desires are completely satisfied. The soul is liberated by pradhana only.
And if pradhana is meant for enjoyment,
why the soul should leave? Why the soul should leave? Okay.
That's why all these atheistic philosophy, their self-realization, liberation doesn't make sense.
That means the whole point is that to give an opportunity for people to say that this world is for my enjoyment. World is for my enjoyment. Just wait for some time, you are suffering, you will enjoy further. No, go ahead. There is no requirement for liberation. Because you are caught hold by matter, matter will give you liberation. Matter will never give liberation. Actually, the more you try to get out of matter, the more you get caught, entangled. That is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Without bhakti, if you try to get out of material crutches, the more you get stuck up, the more you suffer. Jyayato vishyan pumsaha sangastheshu vijayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate krodhat bhavat sammoha sammohaspatir brahmaspatir brahmachat buddhinashat pranashyati. Tell me, these two verses are spoken by Krishna for whom?
you are entangled in the material.
No. For the Sankhyats. Those who think I can get liberated by contemplating on matter. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha. So, what did he do? Without taking shelter of Krishna and Bhakti, one who wants to control his senses and get liberated by taking shelter of matter. Like, somebody has diabetes. I'm a diabetic person. Now, how to control diabetes? Why diabetes? A person with diabetes, you should not eat sweets. So I meditate on not eating sweets. What I'll do?
You are meditating on sweets only.
You are sitting, prasadam being served. And the person is serving prasadam, he doesn't know your diabetes. He brings nice, wonderful kheer, rasgulla, gulab jamuns. Hey, I'm diabetic. I'm not supposed to eat sweets. You know that? Sweets are very dangerous for me. Sweet is so horrible. This is because of sweets only I become like this. Don't drink sweets. And that person is hearing your pravachan. Then he goes. Because you contemplated so much on sweets, isn't it? Jayata Vishampam, so what happened? Sangha station. Then you call him back. Come. Since you are lovingly serving sweets to everyone and including me, just one piece. Just small piece. This much only, not much. I'm diabetic, these sweets are very horrible. So what happens? Sangastesha Jayate, Jayate Visham Sangha. Then he gives you what? One small piece, gives small piece of laddu and then he's going. Then you ate that. Then what happened? Sangha Sanjayate Kama. Oh, so tasty, so nice. Come. Today I am exempted, for today only, no problem. I can take as much as possible. Give all the sweets. Buddhinashat Pranashyati. So he wanted to get liberated from sweets. So that, for that what did he do? He took shelter of the sweets, meditated on the sweets and got entangled. So, a very strange example to explain the same thing. How the thing which has bound you can, by taking shelter of that, you cannot deliver yourself. So, yeah, Bhagavatam verse. Tamishi sheshe jagatastastu tatasyastu cha pare namukhena bhate prajanam chittasya chitte namahindriyanam pater mahan bhuta gunesha esha gunesha shesha. Yeah, the diacritics are not there, unfortunately. I had to change. I had to give this work to someone to change all these things. Okay. Your Lordship, being the origin of life of material world, is the master and controller of living entities by both moving and stationary. You inspire their consciousness. You maintain the mind and acting and the knowledge acquiring senses. Therefore, you are the great control of material elements and their qualities. You are the controller of all desires. So that means Krishna is supreme controller. Only he can deliver from material existence. Now go to the seventh bomb. 227. The atheistic Sankhya philosophers argue that material nature acts when it is near the consciousness living entity. Like a piece of iron moves when attracted by nearby magnets. But matter and the consciousness of Jiva are moved to the Supreme Lord, who is above both of them. So, like a piece of iron moves towards magnet. Now, magnet is attracting iron. It seems to be very wonderful. But is the magnet doesn't have desire. doesn't have consciousness. Whereas the Supreme Lord has consciousness, the living entity has consciousness. You cannot say the material nature has the attractive power within it because it is unconscious, it doesn't act. So, one Bhagavatam verse, we will do the second one. Yatha brahma yatyat aho brahman 7:5-14 Swayam akshara sannidho tata me vidhyate chetas chakara chakrapaner yadrichaya. This is spoken by Prahlad to his teacher Sandarmark. When they, hey, how did your consciousness get attracted to this Vishnu? Then iron attracted by a magnet stone moves automatically towards the magnet. My consciousness, having been changed by his will, is attracted to Vishnu, attracted by Vishnu, who carries a disc in his hand. Thus, I have no independence. Now, eighth one. Atheistic Sankhya philosophy admits pradhana to be matter in equilibrium when the three modes are balanced. It does not explain why the modes still out of the balanced state. Saikshata, the Lord seeing that they don't talk about it. Setting off the process of creation, it accepts neither that it is initiated by Supreme Lord nor by the time factor. The Sankhya explanation of causation is thus incomplete. They don't accept the Supreme Lord and the time factor. So, in Bhagavatam verse, we've already done it. Now, ninth bomb, 229. It is illusion to think that three modes of material nature act separately from the power of the Supreme Intelligent Personality of Godhead. So, because these three modes are unconscious. Like when you say this table is there, tomorrow morning you come and see the table by its own desire has moved from there to there. No. So the unconscious things, they cannot act independently. So that shows the Supreme Lord is the controller of these elements, of the three modes. Last one, 10th one. As long as, the theistic Sankhya philosophy is fraught with many contradictions. The Sankhya philosophers do not clearly explain whether the living entity is conscious or unconscious, or why the living entity is bound or liberated. They say it is conscious. At the same time, there is no clear definition of the living entity being conscious. There is no clear definition of what is consciousness. They say it is conscious, but what is consciousness? There is no clear understanding of it. And there is no explanation why. For example, living entity is conscious and is liberated. There is no reason given why it got bound. Who made that combination happen? Prakriti and Purusha's combination to happen. So this is how the whole subject matter ends, with a verse from Bhagavatam. That is one verse, we'll chant that verse and then we'll finish off with Sankhya. 11.11.1 Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Baddho Mukta iti Vyaktya Gunato Mena Vastunnaha Gunesha Maya Mulatvam Name Moksho Nabandhanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to Uddhava, what did he say? My dear Uddhava, due to the influence of material modes of nature, which are under my control, the living entity is sometimes designated as conditioned and sometimes as liberated. In fact, however, the soul is never really bound or liberated, And since I am the supreme Lord of Maya, which is the cause of the modes of nature, I am also never be considered to be liberated or bondage. So bondage and revelation is because of the will of the Lord. In Prabhupada, one of the bhajans, Markine Bhagavata, other one is what? Other bhajan? No, Krishna Tava. Why? So these two bhajans, he mentions this point that how, oh Lord, it is because of you, they are all bound, we are all bound, and because of you only they will be liberated.
Also, after that, Gopinath.
Hey Gopinath,
Yes, Tomara.
Tumhara Maya. So that is why this famous, in the Western philosophy, the question was raised when the talk was about suffering in this world. Why there is suffering? It is because God is all powerful, but He is not merciful. No. How can God be not merciful? He is very merciful. If God is very merciful, then He should be. He is not all powerful. Because if it is all powerful and all merciful, there should be no. So that is how they became atheistic. So there are two sections. One of those who said, God is all merciful, but impotent. Actually, because they are suffering. So they rejected that God. And there are some people who said, God is all powerful, but He is not merciful. What is the use of that God? Rejected. So that became the basis of atheism among all the Christians. Now all the churches are empty because they could not explain that God is all powerful, at the same time all merciful, and this suffering in this world is actually an aspect of His mercy. So they became all Sankhyaites because Pradhana is all powerful but not merciful. Jiva is what? It has consciousness but is not
All
powerful. So they all took up atheism. So better not talk about God, talk about God only.
If we have to suffer, then let us suffer without God.
Yeah, better. Why go to church? Why break our head? So let us go to the another chart file which I had sent you, that is Vedanta Sutras, Sankhya Vedanta Sutra. So it is directly from Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu's commentary on Vedanta Sutras. The purpose of I giving this file is not really for explaining and then refuting Sankhya. The purpose is to give an introduction how the Vedanta Sutras are presented. So now, after Sankhya and Yoga, then Purvamamsa and Karamamamsa, Purvamamsa, Vedanta Sutras come. So Vedanta Sutras being introduced. So Adhyaya 2, second Adhyaya, first Pada. Pada 1, Adhyaya 2, Pada 1. The subject matter is a refutation of the opposing views. Now first is Vishaya. What is the meaning of Vishaya? The subject. First, the author of the sutra proves that theistic Sankhya is opposed to the Vedic text and removes the doubt, the views of Vedanta Sutra, and removes the doubt that the views of the Vedanta Sutra contradict the Vedic text that Kapila uses to establish the Sankhya theory. It will be shown that the Kapila's philosophy is not supported by the Vedic text he uses to establish it. Means Kapila uses, the Sankhyas use the Vedic text to establish Sankhya. But now here, Vyasa, he says that the same Vedic text which was used by the Sankhyas to establish their philosophy, they go against that, against their own text. Now, and he introduces now what is Sankhya philosophy, the atheistic Sankhya philosophy, in this particular paragraph. So, from somebody from Zoom call, Zoom, can you read starting with the atheistic Sankhya philosopher Kapila has explained from the paragraph. Then the next para.
The atheistic Sankhya philosopher Kapila has explained the different elementary truths given in the Vedas according to his own opinion. According to him, material nature consists of pradhana, the equilibrium of the three material qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Material nature produces the material energy known as the Mahatattva, and Mahat produces the false ego. The ego produces the 5 objects of sense perception, which produce the 10 senses, which are 5 for acquiring knowledge and 5 for walking, the mind, and the 5 gross elements, which is space, air, fire, water, and earth. Counting the Purusha, the soul or the enjoyer, with these 24 elements, there are 25 different tattvas, fundamental ontological categories. The unmanifested stage of these 25 ontological truths is called pradhana, and the manifested stage is called prakriti or material nature. The qualities of material nature are the causes of happiness, distress, and illusion. The quality of goodness is the cause of material happiness. The quality of passion is the cause of material distress, and the quality of ignorance is the cause of illusion. Our material experience lies within the boundaries of these three manifestations of happiness, distress, and illusion. For example, a beautiful woman is certainly a cause of material happiness for one who possesses her as a wife, but the same beautiful woman is a cause of distress to a man whom she rejects, or who is the cause of her anger, and if she leaves the man, she becomes the cause of illusion.
Yeah.
The two
Yeah, yes. So, Sankhya philosophy, it talks about that the truth is in one's experience. Rasgulla is sweet or bitter. Because you are a Vedantist, you are saying it's sweet. For a Sankhya, it is not so. Everything is relative for them. No, you are saying it is sweet, but you ask that person, he says it is bitter because that is what he had. That is what was his experience. So in this way, though they said that we are more advanced than Nyaya-Vaisheshikas, they are no better than them because for them everything is relative. Everything is perception. It's a perception, Prabhu. No, though there are perceptions, but there is a truth about a particular object. You just cannot say Rasgulla is not sweet. It is sweet. That is his wrong perception. So perceptions becomes truth for them. In this way, there is a scope for mental speculation. Unlimited.
So it's a diseased perception.
Diseased perception. So the so-called equality, Everybody is equal. How can you say everybody is equal?
It's like this hippie.
Happy. Yeah. Okay. Next paragraph.
The two kinds of senses are the 10 external senses and the internal senses, the mind. Thus, there are 11 senses. According to Kapila, material nature is eternal and all-powerful. Originally, there is no spirit and matter has no cause. Matter itself is the chief cause of everything. It is the all-pervading cause of all causes.
Sarvakarana karanam. Ishvara Parama Prakriti Sarvakarana Karanam. Yeah, read, further go.
The Sankhya philosophy regards the total material energy, Mahatattva, the false ego, and the five objects of sense perception, sound, form, touch, taste, and odor, as the seven diverse manifestations of material nature, which has two features, the material cause and efficient cause. The Purusha, soul or enjoyer, is without transformation, whereas material nature is always subject to transformation. But although material nature is inert, it is the cause of enjoyment and salvation for many living creatures. Its activities are beyond the scope of sense perception, but still one may guess at them by superior intelligence. Material nature is one, but because of the interaction of the three qualities, it can produce the total energy and the wonderful cosmic manifestation. Such transformation divide material nature into two features, namely the efficient and material causes. The Purusha, the
Yes,
soul.
1 minute. Now, the question was raised to the Sankhyas that what is the meaning of efficient cause and material cause? Efficient cause and material cause. You see, namely efficient cause and material cause, you have got this. Now, they have to explain this thing. Efficient cause means like you have, for any effect to happen, there should be a cause. Isn't it? There are basically three causes. For the pot, yeah, mud pot. For the mud pot to manifest, you require three. The potter, number two, mud, number three, the wheel. Isn't it? The remote cause or the ultimate cause is what? Potter. And mud is the material cause. Mud is what? The material cause. And the wheel is efficient cause. Means without the wheel, the potter is there and the mud is there, you cannot make the pot. And for us, we know Krishna is the potter. Number two, mud is the material nature. Wheel is the time. You remember in yesterday morning class, I spoke about this. Janmadyasyataha anvayad itarataha cha. Anvayad, remote cause. Itarataha, material cause. Cha, efficient cause, time. Krishna and Prakriti and Kala. Because Kala and Prakriti are Krishna's energy, absolute truth is the is all the three causes. Krishna is all three causes. Absolute remote cause and efficient cause and material cause. Krishna is all three. Now here they want to ascribe all the three to the material nature. As much as we say potter, the mud and the wheel, all the three are Krishna because Krishna's energy, time is Krishna's energy, material nature is Krishna's energy. But these three, these Sankhyas, they try to what they do? Put, ascribe these three causes to material nature itself. So read further.
The Purusha, the soul enjoyer is effective and without material qualities, although at the same time he is the master existing separately in each and every body as the emblem of the knowledge. By understanding the material cause, one can guess that the Purusha, the enjoyer, being without activity, is aloof from all kinds of enjoyment or superintendence. Sankhya philosophy, after describing the nature of Prakriti, material nature, and Purusha, the enjoyer, asserts that the creation is only a product of their combination or proximity to one another. The living symptoms are visible in material nature because of this proximity. But one can guess that in the person of the enjoyer, the Purusha, there are powers of control and enjoyment. When the Purusha is an illusion because of lack of sufficient knowledge, he feels himself to be the enjoyer, and when he is in full knowledge, he is liberated. The liberated Purusha is described in the Sankhya philosophy to be always indifferent to the activities of Prakriti.
Yes. Okay. So now this is the essential philosophy of Sankhyates, and then so the whole is an introduction to the Sankhya philosophy. So it's a long list of explanation which Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu gives. Now we will go to the scroll down. There is something called Samshaya.
Maharaj, why this, like we attribute time, when we bring time in a picture, all questions are solved. And time is above Prakriti.
Yes.
So why the same like all attributes and qualities of the
No, go above. So you went to Siddhanta already.
all the
Go up. There is Samshaya. Yeah. Please, just let them. Yeah. Because they are. Where is it? Samshaya. Which page is that? You type out Samshaya, you'll get it. Huh? Maya Adhyakshana Prakriti is there, in that verse is there? No, below that. Maya Adhyakshana Prakriti, that verse is there, just go below that paragraph, you'll find Samshaya. Yes. You go down, little bit go down. Let's just go down. Page number 5. At the bottom. You got that. Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about it. Yeah. Your question.
So, like, we saw that all the qualities and, like you said, of Krishna, of Creator, they project into the Prakriti and make that like God. So, why they couldn't do that same as time and then the whole philosophy would be like easy to accept? They could have just said that time is also a product of that churning of the gunas.
It is very easy. Once you accept time as energy of Krishna, and everything becomes easy. Isn't it? Once you accept time as energy of Krishna.
Once we are accepting time at all, our philosophy becomes very clear.
Very clear.
So I'm asking why they can, the same like they have projected.
Yeah, it's the same frustration all the Vaishnavas have. It is so easy to chant Hare Krishna. Why don't everybody chant Hare Krishna? It is so easy to pay Dandavat to Krishna. Why you call somebody from Latvia, you pay obeisance. Oh, it's very difficult. Who am I? How can I bow down? What is this? Chant Hare Krishna. Why I should do Hare Krishna? You can blabber so many things, but Hare Krishna I will not do. So why? This point is that why? Very difficult. It's easy for you because you accepted it. For those who don't accept it, very difficult to understand. What to speak of that? When I spoke to somebody, a Sattva-guna, Raja-guna, say, hey, what is this? Ye kya hota hai? It is very easy for you to see Sattva, Rajas, Tama. But those who are in ignorance, it's very difficult for them.
We are thinking, we are sentimental. One person was saying, you are chanting Hare Krishna because somehow you develop faith. But if you develop same faith in something else and you chant that name, you will get the same result.
Yeah.
He was arguing like that.
Yeah. That is what it is. You say when you chant somebody's name, you develop faith only when you know about it. Isn't it? When you know about him. Otherwise, why you have Bhagavatam? Why you have all the commentaries? Why you have these courses? You ask somebody to chant Krishna's name, of course, he'll get a lot of benefit. That's true. But if he doesn't know who is that Krishna, then in Bengal, everybody chanted Krishna's name. Nityananda personally gave Krishna's name. But they were not interested in studying. What happened to them? Aul, Baul, Gauranga Nagari, all these things came. So if we don't study, this is what's going to happen to us. This is also all Aul, Baul, everybody comes. And I can see them in Kirtan Melas. Yeah, in Kirtan Melas. You know what is Kirtan Mela? Very famous now in ISKCON. If you do Ṣad-darśana, nobody will come. If you do Kirtan Mela, all will come.
So much necessary to study.
So if you don't, so that is the reason. Now you ask him that question. Did not complete the point. So when that person says, if you chant somebody's name, you will develop faith on him also. See, we develop faith on chanting by hearing. Isn't it? By hearing from a devotee, you develop your faith in chanting. So now, you say, okay, I'll chant Durga's name. I'll develop faith. Not because of chanting Durga's name, by knowing who is she. So you know who is Krishna. So you refute his philosophy. For example, today if I chant your wife's name, then he'll go crazy. So you should be a good nyayika and then blast him out.
Why it defines the Purusha, it defines whether there has been the efficient cause or maybe another one. So I do not understand that aspect of the better nature and both the causes.
That is what the Sankets say. The Sankets attribute all the three causes to material nature. But we attribute all the three causes to Krishna. And one of the reasons the material nature cannot be the cause because it is unconscious. That is how the first refutation started. Because it is unconscious, it cannot be the cause of this material world.
Purusha, describe the Purusha and Prakriti as separate. Purusha defines the two causes separately, not single one.
You give the mic. Repeat again.
I can just search the exact purpose for it.
You can search and then come later. Yeah. Sometimes the terminologies are used in different ways. Terminologies. Upadana karana. Material nature means upadana karana. Material nature is upadana karana. And the nimitta karana, nimitta means efficient cause, nimitta. Sometimes upadana karana is also called nimitta. Nimitta means it became instrumental cause. What is the instrument by which Krishna creates this world? Time.
So that is efficient or instrumental, it's synonym.
Sometimes they use that, but actually time is an instrumental cause. Upadana means something which is given. Upadana, giving. So material nature is the thing which gives. Of course, time gives energy, so you can say time is also a upadana karana, sometimes. But let us go by one version, because if you create many versions, then it is difficult to understand. Okay. Upadana Karana is material nature. Nimitta Karana, material cause. The material cause, like you have these two terms, Upadana is the material cause. What is the material cause of this world? Pradhana. What is the efficient cause? Time. Material cause. Upadana cause, nimitta. And remote cause, the ultimate cause. So let us come back to this point again. Because,
Like you said about Anurag, it was just
ah.
in that explains that Anurag, it was just all three things supreme, and all three are like all three factors, devotion, and then efficient cause.
All three. Because both are energies, other two energies of Krishna. In that way, both are. Time is energy of Krishna, so Krishna is the cause. Okay, go to Samshaya. Now Vishaya, after presenting the Vishaya, what is being presented is Samshaya. Is the view established in the first Adhyaya that Brahman is the sole cause of the material universe contradicted by Sankhya Smriti? That is a Samshaya, doubt came. Because when you are hearing the Vedanta Sutra, you heard, what is the thing which you heard in the very beginning of the Vedanta Sutras? First one, Janmadyasyataha. And who is that person from whom everything comes from? It is Brahman. Okay, that has been established in the first Adhyaya. Now, you told Brahman is the cause of everything, sole cause of the material universe. Is it? Is the view established in the first Adhyaya that Brahman is the sole cause of everything contradicted by Sankhya Smriti? Is a contradiction? So Purvapaksha. That means Sankhyites. What is their objection to this Brahman is the cause of everything? He says if Brahman is the sole cause of material universe, then what about the Vedic text that established Sankhya view that Pradhana, the unmanifested total material nature, is the material cause of the universe? According to the Vedanta text, Sankhya Smriti would have to be rejected. Kapila, the author of Sankhya, is called Rishi in the following text of the Shvetashvara Upanishad. That verse has been quoted. In the beginning itself in the Sankhya notes, he is the cause of all causes. So the Sankhya teachers say, if Brahman is the source of everything, but the same God is mentioned in the Upanishads. And he is propounding another philosophy. You got it? That is a doubt. Now the doubt is refuted by how? Siddhanta. Go to the last. Go further, you have one Siddhanta coming. So you have Vishaya, then Samshaya, then Purvapaksha. Purvapaksha written? Purvapaksha. Then what is there? Siddhanta. Siddhanta means you refute him and establish your philosophy at the end, that is called Sangati. So you have 5 steps. What are the 5 steps? Vishaya, then Samshaya, Purvapaksha, Siddhanta, Sangati. Please don't forget these 5 terms. If you forget all other things, no problem. Anyhow, it's all scrap, isn't it? What all we discussed in these 4 days. But one thing you have to take Vedanta. The presentation of Vedanta is like this. How? First one, Vishaya, Samshaya, Purvapaksha, Siddhanta, Sangati. And this is the way Vedanta is presented. Since the subject matter has come, let us have a small exercise. Can you go to 2nd chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 12th verse? Please go to 2nd chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 12th verse. And the purport is not easy to understand. Natvevaham jatanasam neme janadipa nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve mayavata param. So, in one of the sessions in Ṣad-darśanas, I gave this purport to do a homework on how Srila Prabhupada presented all these points.
On this fact.
Yes.
Can you say again?
212. Natvevaham jatanasam neme janadipa nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve. Okay, somebody from Zoom can read the purport and we'll identify. From Zoom call, Zoom meeting.
In the Vedas, in the Katha Upanishad, as well as in Shveta Upanishad, they say that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer of innumerable living entities. In terms of their different situations according to individual work and reaction of work. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is also by His plenary portion alive in the heart of every living entity. Only saintly person who can see within and without the same Supreme Lord can actually attain to perfect and eternal peace. Nityo Nityanam Chetnas Chetnanam Eko Bahunam Yo Vedadati Kaman Tam Atma Stham Yenu Pashyanti
Dhira.
Tesham Shanti Shashvat Nektra Shanti. Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. The same Vedic truth given to Arjuna is given to all persons in the world who post themselves as very learned but factually have but a poor fund of knowledge. The Lord says clearly that He Himself, Arjuna, and all kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that the Lord is eternally the maintainer of the individual living entity, both in their conditional and in their liberated situations. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is a supreme individual person, and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal associate, and the king assembled, there are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individual in the past, and it is not that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past, and their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation for anyone.
Yes. This is Vishaya. What is subject matter? Individuality is eternal. Now, next.
The Mayavadi theory that after liberation, the individual soul separated by the covering of Maya or illusion will merge into the impersonal Brahman, and whose its individual existence is not supported herein by Lord Krishna, the supreme authority. Nor is the theory that we only think of individuality in the conditional state supported herein. Krishna clearly says herein that in the future also the individuality of the Lord and others, as it is confirmed in the Upanishads, will continue eternally.
What is this? Mayavadis. Sanshaya. Sanshaya as well as Purvapaksha are combined in the language. Isn't it? They are in sense combined. Now starts Siddhanta. Go further.
This statement of Krishna's is authoritative because Krishna cannot be subject to illusion. If individuality were not a fact, then Krishna would not have stressed it so much, even for the future. The
Okay.
Mayavadi may argue that
One minute. Wait. So now, one Samshaya is taken and it is Siddhanta is spoken. Every doubt and then Siddhanta. Siddhanta means what? By logically, you refute the doubts and establish Siddhanta. Yeah, go further.
Mayavadi may argue that the
by Krishna is not spiritual but material.
It is what Purva-paksha and Samshaya, both. Another Purva-paksha came, another argument came of Mayavadis. Then again refutation. Siddhanta. Next.
Even accepting the argument that individuality is material, then how can one distinguish Krishna's individuality? Krishna affirms his individuality in the past and confirms his individuality in the future also. He has confirmed his individuality in many ways, and impersonal Brahman has been declared to be subordinate to him. Krishna has maintained spiritual individuality all along. If he is accepted as ordinary conditional soul in individual consciousness, then his Bhagavad Gita has no value as authoritative scripture. A common man with all the four defects of human frailty is unable to teach that which is worth hearing.
Okay, stop here. Stop here, Mantri. Just 1 minute. So now, if you see in every purport of Srila Prabhupada, the system of presentation is followed like this. First is Vishaya, then Samshaya, then Purva-paksha. Sometimes the Samshaya and Purva-paksha are combined. Because the Purva-paksha is because of a Samshaya. Samshaya means doubt. And then comes what? Siddhanta. Okay? Now, at the end, what is there after presenting the Siddhanta? You go to the last line of the purport. Therefore. Right, read from therefore, yeah. Yeah, therefore, you see, therefore.
Therefore, the Mayavadi explanation of the Gita is a most misleading presentation of the whole truth. Lord Chaitanya has forbidden us to read commentations made by Mayavadis and warns that one who takes to such an understanding of the Mayavadi philosophy loses all power to understand the real mystery of the Gita. If individuality refers to empirical universe, then there is no need of teaching by the Lord. The purity of the individual soul and the Lord is an eternal fact, and it is confirmed by the Vedas.
As mentioned above, means you repeat the Vishaya. As mentioned before. So Sangati means summarize and then finish it off. So this is the way to present philosophy. Summarize. The opposite's view, opponent's view. Like, how can you say that the living entity is different from God? Because in the Vedas, the living entity is also called Brahman and the Supreme Lord is also called Brahman. How can you say they are different?
So this is Vishaya?
This Purva-paksha. Yeah, Samshaya, doubt. How can you say that the living entity is different from the Lord?
And the Purva-paksha is like evidence.
Evidence of the doubt. What is that evidence? Because the living entity is also called Brahman, the Supreme Lord is also called Brahman, and Tattvamasi, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman, Am Brahmasmi, Satyam Jnanamantam Brahma, Tattvamasi, these are all there. So now, after hearing that, you have to give a Siddhanta. Siddhanta means your refutation of the Purva-paksha by logic and reason, and also with pramana from the scriptures. And then ultimately, and then again what happens? Purva-paksha comes in between. And again you do the Siddhanta. And after bashing them everything, at the end you conclude. That is called Sangati. And these 5 points becomes one Adhikarana. Got it? These five together become one adhikarana, which is consisting of a section of what? Vedanta Sutras. Like,
Okay, so it goes with this Samshaya and Purva Paksha, it
goes on,
and that's how the sutras combine.
Sutras are combined together, become one adhikarana. So, Vedanta Sutras are like this. They're very technical and very nicely and very robust and presentation. Okay, so and even our authors or acharyas, they present the philosophy in the same manner. The purports are like that only. If you are able to get those things, the subtleties, then the whole purport will be like as bright as sun.
So our essays, we should also write like this.
Yes.
There is one more thing that Uttara Paksha is.
Uttar Paksha means your philosophy. Uttara means later. Purva means before. Purva means Purva Mimamsa. The previous person and later person. Previous view, later view. Like you have a verse, 4 lines. The first 2 lines becomes the Purva Paksha and the later 2 becomes Uttara Paksha. Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Purva means Purva, before, and Uttara means later. Previous part, later part. Okay, so the rest part is left for you to see the refutation of this thing then we can just go to yoga. Yoga student notes, open yoga.
Another file named yoga.
What?
Maharaj, is it the same file or it is another file?
That been sent to you?
Mataji, you check Maharaj sent me? Yoga?
Maharaj, you only sent something.
No, he shared.
I sent yoga also to you.
You see, can you check your WhatsApp?
Oh yes, sir.
So you please forward to me.
Please forward.
To you.
You also must have got.
No. You
I'm just
forward to
putting
me.
on a group, then you take from there. No, you are in a group.
Yeah, I am going to be put in the group. I'll take from there and I'll send in another group.
I'll send another document also. Yoga refuted. Okay. So we have yes. File, save as. Just wait for 1 minute. I'll just send another one also, so that because yoga. So you sent it, yoga students notes.
Yes, I'm saying.
So you got it, yoga. Okay. So I'm sending one more, so that. Let us do this first, because we are in the mood of Vedanta, isn't it? Vedanta Sutras. So,
You are sharing?
yeah, one more. I'm just
something else also?
I'm sharing one more also, so that you are document. Yeah, you send this also, Mataji. Open this file, which has been sent now.
Yeah. Shall I share with you or you also receive?
No, I did not send it to him because
Okay, so I'm sending you a group.
in the group,
Yoga Vedanta Sutra.
Yoga Vedanta Sutras, open that.
So, Ajit, were you sending to other students also?
You send in the group, okay, I'll send to all of those.
Okay, all Zoom devotees, you got the file? Yoga Vedanta Sutra. Please open that. So that we are in the mood of Vedanta, we'll start with that. Okay. Now what is the first thing? Vishaya. The present sutra opens a new adhikarana, since yoga differs from Sankhya in admitting the existence of God. Patanjali says, you Sankhyites, you are atheistic people, don't accept God, I will give you God. I will give you God, I will give the whole world God. So that is why a new adhikarana started. Now the first two sutras in the second chapter, second pada, second chapter, first pada, the first two sutras refuted Sankhya, isn't it? Now the third sutra, in this third sutra, in the third sutra is one adhikarana. Sometimes there may be adhikarana with only one sutra. Sometimes there will be adhikarana with only two sutras. Sometimes it can have 10 sutras also. Okay.
But adhikarana will always include Vishaya, Samshaya.
In one sutra itself, yes, in one sutra itself there can be all 5.
But can also not be 5?
Yeah, it cannot be all 5. No, 5 will be there. On adhikarana, all 5 should be there.
That's how it's adhikarana.
Yeah. You see, when you say adhikarana, it is actually the commentary.
Okay, that's why it has to be 5.
Yeah. All 5 will be there. The Vishaya. Now the question asks, why are you talking about yoga as a separate adhikarana? Because Patanjali, he admits the existence of God. He says Paramatma, Paramatma, Paramatma. So the doubt arose that refutation of Sankhya did not necessarily require the refutation of yoga. This adhikarana removes the doubt. Yes. It would be difficult to find an ancient text that has been misinterpreted and exploited more thoroughly in the West than the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So much of exploitation has happened of Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. The commercial teaching of so-called yoga in a multi-billion-dollar business, yet very little of what they teach has anything to do with the original source literature of the subject. A multi-billion-dollar business, yoga. Oh, yoga. International Yoga Day, Modi ji is going and doing yoga. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. And it has nothing to do with yoga, what is being mentioned here. Yet very little of what they teach has anything to do with original source literature on the subject. Instead, the process of self-realization and linking the individual soul with God, yoga, is misdirected as a means to superior materialistic pleasure and through sense enjoyment. It is often portrayed as somehow spiritual, but if we inquire from such materialistic so-called yogis, what is the precise definition of spiritual life, according to yoga philosophy, they cannot give a satisfactory answer. Patanjali Yoga, Patanjali, very famous, multi-billion-dollar business. Patanjali. Patanjali would have, if he saw Ramdev Baba, he would have killed him. You are using my name. Give what is called trademark. Trademark. Perhaps more deceptions offered with the modern materialistic yogis is the impression that the yoga system is Vedic origin or approved by the Veda. This Adhikarana will show that nothing could be further than the truth. In fact, the philosophy of Eightfold is against the conclusion of Veda. It's against the conclusion of the Veda. Patanjali is merely the most famous recent exponent of the Eightfold system of yoga system, which is very old, being mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. We know in the Bhagavad Gita, it is there. Sarvendriya karmani prana karmani chapare atma samya yogagno jivasi jnana deepite. So, Patanjali, in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali, the soul is either Paragatma and Pratyagatma. So, this about Patanjali, he talks about the soul is like this, Paragatma or Pratyagatma. As long as the soul is attached to sense enjoyment, he is known as Paragatma. But when he becomes detached from sense enjoyment, he is known as Pratyagatma. The soul is subject to the function of 10 kinds of subtle airs, prana vayu, at work within the body, and this subtle internal air can be controlled through breathing system. Patanjali system of Hatha Yoga gives a technical procedure, pranayama, to control the functions of pranavayu, so that its functions become favorable for purifying the soul of mental attachment. The senses interact with the sense objects like ear for hearing, eyes for seeing, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, hands for touching, and of all of them they engage in activities outside the self. According to yoga system, the ultimate goal of Pratyak Atma is to reach when the soul withdraws from activities of matter. So we know Yama, all the things are there written. Oh, why the internet people are not going down? And then Zoom devotees, go to the page, go down, so that they also can see, not just hear what I am saying. Is working? Okay. Please go down in your, who is handling that Zoom? Okay. They are not hearing only. Not hearing?
We can hear. We're seeing through the phone.
You are saying through the phone? No, it's fine. If you are saying through the phone, it's fine. Okay. I was not, I thought you were all only on the Zoom. Okay, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. We all know about it very nicely. And the meanings are already given. Yama means positive regulative injunctions. Negative, Yama means those things which you are supposed to do. Yama means don'ts. Niyama means don'ts. And Yama, Niyama. Asana, so that by doing asana, you come to a position of doing pranayama. You can breathe in and breathe out. And then pratyahara, what do you do? Pratyahara? Withdrawal of the senses from the sense objects within your mind. There are senses and sense objects within the mind. Dharana, yes. What is the difference between dharana and dhyana? Dharana means
It's breaking.
Breaking. You take a glass of water and then pour the water. It's wavering. You take a glass of oil and then pour, it continues. That's the difference between dhyana and dharana and dhyana. Samadhi, okay. There are two kinds of samadhi. It will all come later. The pranavayu has various functions. Apanavayu goes downwards. Vyanavayu acts to shrink and expand. Samanavayu adjusts equilibrium. Udanavayu goes upwards. When one is enlightened, one engages all these in searching for self-realization. Yoga practice is supposed to be based on the principle of Patanjali system. But modern unauthorized commentators or teachers of yoga, if they are interested in spiritual matters at all, think that liberation means to identify the individual soul with the super soul. That is the problem with them. That they identify the soul with the super soul. They do not understand the real purpose of Patanjali system of yoga. There is acceptance of transcendental pleasure in Patanjali system, but the monoists do not want to accept this transcendental pleasure out of fear of jeopardizing theory of oneness. most of the Mayavadis, they accept this Patanjali yoga system, but at the same time they also reject Patanjali talking about Ananda. But Patanjali's Ananda is what? Ceasage of material miseries. That is their Ananda. They do not understand the real purpose of Patanjali yoga system. There is acceptance of transcendental pleasure. Okay. The monist reject the duality of knowledge and knower. Okay, go further. It is corroborated by Patanjali Muni, who declares in Yoga Sutras. What is it? Purushartha shunyam gunanam prati parasvaha kaivalyam swarupa pratisthava chitti shaktiriti. Chitti shaktiriti. Kaivalya is a state when the primary elements involved or resolve themselves back into that out of which they emerge because of their being devoid of object of Purusha. In this state, the Purusha is established in his real nature, Chit Shakti. Within the power of pure consciousness become established in two natures. That means Chitti Shakti Riti. To summarize, when the Jiva attains his original position, that is called liberation. The Chitti Shakti, internal potency mentioned in the sutra is like this. Transcendental is transcendental. The Chitti Shakti, internal potency is mentioned in the sutra is transcendental. Purushartha means material religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, finally, futile attempt to become one with the Supreme Lord. The monist considered Kaivalyam to be one with the Supreme Lord, but according to Patanjali, Kaivalyam is an internal transcendental potency by which the living entity becomes aware of his actual conceptual position. So, because of many Mayavadis, they taking up the process of Patanjali, they impose their impersonalism on Patanjali. But Patanjali doesn't talk about becoming one with God. He talks about becoming one with oneself. That is the whole purpose of all these talks. The theory of nirvana also corresponds with this principle. After nirvana or cessation of material consciousness, there is the manifestation of spiritual activities, the devotional service to the Lord. In the words of Bhagavatam, Swarupena Vavastiti. That is known. Okay, let us go to the Samshaya. Go down.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Maharaj, in your notes on yoga, you have said that the yoga philosophers imagine a form of absolute truth within many forms and thus do not give any information on the transcendental personality of Godhead. So what is this within many forms? Imagine a form of the absolute truth within many forms.
They can, for them, anything is a form of the Lord. Like for example, they would say, meditate on a black spot. Meditate on the watch. But one thing, you have to choose one thing and meditate. That is the Patanjali yoga system. So for them, it is not necessary that you have to meditate on Krishna. You can meditate on anything, but only one thing. You have been to some yoga schools or somewhere you must have heard, they say, Dhyan karo. Once I asked one person, why don't you come to temple every day with the Bhagavatam class? And you are free. He told, I am going to a yoga class. So then he told, then I asked him, what do you do there? He told, I do meditation, Dhyan karta hu. Then I asked him, whom do you meditate on? What do you meditate on? I don't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know whom is he meditating on, but he's still meditating. I told, you are not meditating, you are sleeping. I told. Then he told, Oji, you told perfect. Huh? Actually, whole night I don't get sleep. When I go to the yoga class, when I do meditation, I don't know. I totally lost. Actually, I snore sometimes. So, actually, the yoga master says, gradually think of this. The birds are flying. They are doing chick 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 chick. Then there you'll find one tree. On top of it you find one branch. In that branch there is a leaf. In that leaf there is a black spot. Yes. Hold your meditation there. So that is called many forms. And ultimately what happens? There is no understanding of Krishna, nothing. Even though they talk about Krishna, it's only convenience sake. Ishwar Pranidhana. Oh, so where is Samshaya?
So it's just about exercising the mind.
Exercise in the mind, yeah. Get the point, Samshaya comes. Perhaps there is some value to the eightfold system. After all, Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, and many famous teachers endorse it. Say, don't say, totally reject it. There is some use, Prabhu. Some use, Prabhu. In Krishna talks about it in the Bhagavad Gita. Then the answer is like this. Purva Paksha, the Purva Paksha says, we admit that Vedanta should not be explained on the basis of Sankhya philosophy because it is opposed to theistic philosophy, Vedanta. But the sutras of Vedanta may be explained according to the philosophy yoga, yes. We will explain Vedanta better than the Sankhyas because it is based on the teachings of Vedanta. Yoga is based on the teachings of Vedanta. We are Vedantists actually, not opposed to it. In fact, yoga is complete harmony with Vedic literatures and may therefore be called Shrauta philosophy. Means what? It is a philosophy based on Vedic literatures. It is mentioned in the Upanishads that they hold to be yoga, which is the firm restraint of senses, that then one becomes not heedless. Yoga should be performed with regard to the Lord, from whom is origin and destruction of all living entities. Kathopanishads. So, they have this Purva Paksha giving so many arguments for saying that yoga is Vedanta. Don't reject us. We will help you in achieving your goal. Sankhya should be rejected because they openly say no God. We say God is there. They have no practical Abhideya. We will give the Abhideya, we will give the process. Now there are so many Yoga Sutras. Even Patanjali says, what does he say? That Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. You go to the Sutra down, go down. Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yes. Yeah. That is the first sutra, Yoga Sutra, 1.2. Of course, first one says, Atha Yoganusha Yoganusha Bhanam. Now, yoga, I am going to explain to you yoga. That is the first. Now, let us start the explanation of yoga. Yoganushashanam. Yoganusha. Sha. Tha. How do you chant this? Ataha yoganu sha thanam. Sthabam. Now let us start the explanation of yoga. Now what is the first Yoga Sutra in one sense? Second one actually. Yogaha Chitta Vritti. You see, the whole purpose of yoga is to Chitta Vritti Nirodha, to stop cessation, to cease all the modifications of the mind, raga, dvesha and all these things. These sutras are not opposed to Vedanta. If this Yoga Smriti, which is merely deals with the concentration of mind, will held unauthoritative, then it will find no space elsewhere. If you reject yoga, then where will we go? So please accept us. Now Siddhanta starts. What is Siddhanta? First one is what? Isha, then Samshaya, then Purvapaksha, then the Yoga Sutras, they are pleading, we are Veda, we are Vedic, we accept God, we accept God. And because Patanjali told, I accept God, Vyasa gave a commentary on Veda Sutras. On Yoga Sutras, Vyasa gave a commentary. And then proved that he is atheist. Proved that Patanjali is atheist. Yeah. Siddhanta, only one sutra. Etena yogaha pratyuktaha. The Yoga Smriti is also understood to have been refuted by the above refutation of Sankhya Smriti. In spite of their pleading us, oh please don't reject. In one sutra. Vyasa used only one sutra to refute Veda, refute Yoga. Why? Because he already gave a commentary on Yoga Sutras. He refuted them and proved them to be atheists. Not only that, he took 10, initially here in this thing 2, later 10. He refuted Sankhya and without showing any mercy unto the yoga, he says that refuted. Because Sankhya is refuted, so yoga is also refuted. See that. The Yoga Smriti is also understood to have been refuted by the above refutations of Sankhya Smriti. Okay? Now, let us go through this. Bhashya, Baladev Vidyabhushan Bruce Bhashya. The theory of yoga is also refuted on the similar grounds to those employed to refute the Sankhya theory of creation. For the yoga theory is at odds with the philosophy of Vedanta. If the Vedanta text were to be explained in harmony with Yoga Smriti, then other Smritis like Manu and the rest that are in harmony with Vedanta would have no scope and become useless. Therefore, the Vedanta texts about creation are not to be explained or interpreted according to the Yoga Smriti. It is not a fact that yoga theory. Because the Manusmriti, it talks about Varnashrama. And many other Smritis are talking about Varnashrama, which is in line with Vedanta. But Patanjali Yoga Sutras, they are not in line with Varnashrama. Many crazy things here mentioned. And unfortunately, we take many points from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras and present it in our seminars, which have no basis in the Veda. So, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, they have misled people more than any other philosophy. See, modern science, nobody accepts it as a philosophy. They just take the benefits of it. But yoga, people are accepting it as a philosophy. Let us go to this.
So to take only benefits of it is okay? Or we should actually not so much...
Their philosophy should not be accepted. You do some exercise, fine, that's not a problem. But their philosophy regarding the chitta vrittis, the mind, the different kinds of ignorance which they talk about, their philosophy is going to be very dangerous. So let us talk about what is the problem with them. Now, it is not a fact that the yoga theory of creation in harmony with the theory of cosmogony are similar to the Sankhya text. Yoga Smriti says that Pradhana is independent cause of creation. According to Yoga Smriti, Brahman and the Jiva are mere conscious chitta matra, without attributes or potencies. This is the problem. And both of them are all pervading. Brahman is also all pervading, and Jiva is also all pervading, according to Yoga Sutras. This is the problem. Chitta matra. What is the meaning of chitta matra?
Just conscious,
Just consciousness.
without anything.
Without any qualities, without any powers. They are just consciousness.
So what's the difference then between Brahman and Jiva?
According to this yoga.
Same Mayavad. Yoga theory is not only opposed to Vedanta on this point, but on many other also. For example, yoga teaches mukti is merely cessation of pain. By practice yoga, you become liberated. That means what? The threefold means of right knowledge as given in the yoga text are not given in Vedanta. So there is a description of threefold means of right knowledge. It is all Patanjali's mental speculation. 5 vrittis, functions of the mind mentioned in the yoga are not supported in the Vedanta philosophy. They are all in the student notes. If you go to the student notes, you will find that. All these things are there. They are not found. The yoga philosophy holds that pramana or right knowledge has 3 divisions: perception, inference, and testimony. It also holds that chitta or thinking principle has 5 modifications: right knowledge, false knowledge, desire, sleep, and memory. All these ideas are found in Yoga Smriti alone. They are not found in Vedanta. The Yoga Smriti is not a valid philosophy and should be rejected. If it is objected that the yoga philosophy would find no scope or as a result, then we say, let it be so. And if you reject what is go, we are going to lose. We have to have some position. Go, let us. What we are going to do with that? Since Yoga Smriti is opposed to Vedanta, there is no loss if there is no scope left for it. If there is no scope for whole Patanjali, no loss, no problem. In fact, all arguments against the Sankhya Smriti in the previous Adhikarana also applies against the Yoga Smriti. Certain Vedic texts appear to make reference to the practice of yoga. For example, making 3 raised parts of the body steady and placing his senses into the heart with intellect. The intellect wise man should cross the fearful stream of material existence on the raft of the Om, the Brahman. Shvetashwara says that. And also many texts talk about yoga, Sankhya, and the Vedas talk about it. But if you go further down, this is proved by the following text, that what actually they mean, they are not actually talking about Yoga Smriti, talking about Vedanta. I know the Great Spirit shining like the sun and transcending the world of darkness. It is only by knowing Him that one escapes death. There is no other path to go upon. Tameva vidvana iti mrityumeti. Now go down further. Vedanta philosophy accepts the part of Sankhya and Yoga that are not opposed to the Vedic conclusion. We do not hold any animosity against any of these schools, but take exception to certain doctrines and theories of theirs that are opposed to authorized Vedic explanation of creation and liberation. We simply discard these portions of these teachings that are opposed to Vedanta and accept the rest. For example, yoga is not atheistic like Sankhya, for it admits the existence of God as explained in several sutras. Ishvara paridhanatvat klesha karma vipakasarya pararashtra Purusha Vishesha Ishvaraha.
Who's that God on which they are concentrating?
They don't know that. They accept sub God. Hmm?
No form, nothing.
So now, no, there is no description about it. They talk about some form, but it's all like convenience. Now, yet these sutras are not absolutely necessary for yoga system. That is why you have many practice of yoga, they don't, it's not absolute necessity. For example, suppose somebody approaches Patanjali and says, I want to practice yoga. You are practicing yoga. What about God? Yeah, you have God also. You want to accept, you can accept. Otherwise, no problem. Like, can I be Hare Krishna without chanting Hare Krishna? It's like that. You just cannot be Hare Krishna without chanting Hare Krishna. But if you give option, yeah, you can still be a ISKCON devotee without chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That means what? It is not an absolute necessity for you to be accepting God, to be a yogi. To be yogi, it is not absolute necessity. That means God becomes secondary. That is why here he says, though Patanjali, he says, God is there, yet these sutras are not absolutely necessary for the yoga system, and many of its more atheistic followers say that the author of yoga was not in the right mind when he wrote these particular aphorisms. They are merely an anomaly or a mistake. Besides the Yoga and Sankhya Smritis, the Nyaya and Gautama and Vaisheshik Kannada contain views opposed to Vedanta philosophy, especially in their theories of creation and liberation. Therefore, we reject them. We refute them in later sections. No doubt, the author of these theories are very learned, wise, but their erroneous conclusions are either the result of their own conceit, thinking they are omniscient, when actually they are merely human beings, or because of some mysterious purpose of his own. Mysterious purpose of his own, the Lord willed that they should write such deluding theories. In fact, some writers speculate that the Lord had them write the works just so that they could be refuted by the commentators in Vedanta. So that we can refute and we discuss that for the purpose, you can have VIHE, you can have Ṣad-darśana. Baladev devotional is writing that, so that we can have Ṣad-darśana, so that they could be refuted by the commentaries on Vedanta, and thus bringing out perfect symmetry and harmoniousness with the entire Vedic literatures. Now you understand why did Prabhupada write that statement? First canto, first chapter, 7th verse. One should be conversant. He did not write from his mental speculation. He is repeating what an Acharya has written in the Vedanta Sutras. Very interesting. And to bring out its perfect synergy and harmoniousness with the entire Vedic literature. Certainly, such atheistic theories are in tune with the mood of Kali Yuga, are in tune with Kali Yuga, which perhaps explains the popularity of the rest of teachings of serenity based on them. Anyhow, so this is the thing.
So this all atheistic philosophies could be like a dark background.
Dark background, yeah, for dark background. Now just see, in the past, like this is the 4th day we are doing things, we are more clear about our philosophy, especially regarding creation, especially when we talk about Shakti Parinam Vada. What is Shakti Parinamvad? It is not just a mere word. It's actually it's like a sun. And you have background of the darkness of Brahma Parinamvad, Prakriti Parinamvad, this shines forth. That's the whole purpose. So yoga students' notes I have given you. You just read for yourself. They're not much of to be explained in that particular thing. Mostly it's all copy paste. Nothing much to be done about it. So your yoga student notes is with you. So you can do that at your leisure. So tomorrow we'll do. Yeah. First is Purvamimamsa. That is Karmavada. Purvamimamsa. That is Jaiminis. Actually, Jaimini is the most difficult person to defeat. And the whole purpose of Vyasa writing Vedanta Sutra is to refute Jaimini. Whole purpose is that. Whole purpose of Vyasa writing Vedanta Sutra is to refute Jaimini.
He was his disciple.
First aphorism of the Vedanta Sutra is what? Athato. It is refuting which philosophy? Karma. Athato Brahma Jignasa. Atha. Now you got a human form of life. So, therefore, you have to inquire into the absolute. That is your modern explanation. Atha now is addressed to whom? The followers of Jaimini. Atha. Now you have understood that this material world, material pleasures are temporary and transient. That is why inquire into Brahman.
Transient.
One rasgulla, you eat one rasgulla, very happy, isn't it? Second one, happy. Third one, fourth one, frustration. That is called transient. It's temporary as well as transient. Since you have known this material enjoyment is temporary and transient, what you should do? Do Brahma Jigyasa. What is Samshaya? Doubt. What is a doubt? Why we should inquire into Brahman? Because your own Upanishad, your own scriptures. What is your own scripture? Upanishads. It is understood Upanishads are meant for the Vedantis and the other part of Vedas, Karma Kanda part of Vedas, meant for your own scriptures. Upanishads, Ishavasya says you should do karma and live for 100 years. What is the second mantra? Yeah. Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkinchit jagatyam jagat tena tektena punjitam magdakkasya svidhanam kurvan neveha karmani jijivisheshatam shamaha. You see, Upanishad says you have to do karma and live for how many years? Hundreds of years. And you are thinking of getting back to God. What is this? And if you don't do the andam tama pravishanti, you go to hell. Then, this is the Purva Paksha. What is Siddhanta? The Siddhanta is this. You quoted a mantra. What is the mantra? Kurvan karmani nahi. What is it? Kurvan eva. Eva means what? According to previous. What is that? Ishavashamidam sarvam. If you are basing your karma on jnana, then you can live. Otherwise, you should commit suicide. You are getting how Vedanta functions? This is how it functions. Argument is counter-argument. Established. What is that? Vishaya? Samshaya? Purvapaksha? Siddhanta? Okay. So you all become Vedantists now. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Stop today. We'll meet tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Yes. Yeah, Jaimini was a disciple of Vyasa. Like, for example, your son becomes Ravana in a drama. Will you consider him as Ravana or what? He is playing the role of Ravana, isn't it? We want some good people to play the roles of Ravana also. Then only Rama's glory will be manifest. In the same way, Jaimini is a disciple of Vyasa and he played the role of, yeah, Purvimamsa. Got it, Prabhu? Yeah.
Generally, it also devotees explain the Janmajaya whole Bhagavatam.
Actually, Jaimini is the first Gaudiya Vaishnava. Brihad Bhagavatamrit is from Jaimini. There is Jaimini Bhagavat, where the Gaudiya Vaishnavism is spoken like, oh, too much. But now consider, when we say Jaimini's Karma Sutras, Karma Sutras, we are actually refuting that ignorance in the Karma Sutras.
But he proposed to Sutra.
That is what in the last word is written. Na? These philosophies are manifest so that you can defeat them and present Bhagavad. Just imagine, if no Mayavad would have been there, how will Srila Prabhupada write any purport? There will be no purports only. For Bhagavad Gita, there will be no purports for Bhagavad Gita. If you remove all Mayavad, okay, 3 lines, chant and be happy, all of you. Okay, we stop here. Hare Krishna.
Are we having questions and answers tomorrow?
Yes, we have question answers. Anytime you can ask questions.
No, but you were saying the question by giving answers.
Yeah, I'll do the quiz. Quiz part will be there. Definitely there will be there. Lot of questions will be there. Tomorrow afternoon will be that fun time. We'll do that. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Should I show you the notes first? Because I was asking.
Uh-huh.
I was confused about this.